So I have a Cuisinart. It's the CBK-100, and just started trying to make a loaf of bread. And I noticed that once it got to trying to mix the dough up, the motor was slipping, and I pulled it all apart. I'll show a video when I'm putting it back together. But this nut on the bottom of here was a little bit loose, so I'm hoping that was the issue. Like I said, I'll show once I put this back down. And I had to dig. It stinks because here's some of the screws, and here's some of the screws, and here, and it's a lot to get into here. But I didn't see anybody else that had posted on YouTube or anywhere, so I want to try and share this. So this is the nut that I think was the issue, that this was backing off and it was allowing for the mixer teeth to slip and not actually. This wheel was spinning fine, but this would slip when the dough was just a little bit. When it was flour, it was fine, but as soon as it became a little bit of doughy, it stopped. It would just be jamming up. So we need to get this back, tighten this down, and then come right back. Okay, so as I said, I'm kind of going in reverse order, but to get this panel out, there are two screws right here you need to remove to get this loose, because there's one screw back here, one screw here, there's a screw here, one here, one here, one here, and then one back here. So you got to get all those in, then you put this on, or take this off and get all those out. And then let me get that, and then I'll go to the next step. Okay, so that's all back together. Like I said, I circled all the screws in red. Can't actually see the one under here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. That was really fun to square. Didn't really get it circled. So the one thing I did forget is make sure you can remember everything. There's a little strain relief for the wire under there. Pull this to be able to get more access, but it's under this guy, and whatever, don't care. Put everything back when you do it, if you do this. Also, don't do this. I say that for my own, what do you call that? I didn't tell you to do this, so don't do it. Yeah. Okay, so that's all there. I'm going to go ahead and put the basket back in. And let me grab that real quick and then get back. Okay, so when you get the basket, there's 3, I guess kind of 4 connections you got to make. This little guy gets plugged into the board right here. This metal tab is going to get a bolt through right here. We'll do that later. And then there's these 2 wires right here which go to the heating outlet. You can see I marked them with right and left. I did it for as I'm looking at it. That you're just going to have to do that however, whatever works best for you. If you want to write on here 1 and 2 and then the same on the wires. It shouldn't actually matter because it's just a through. But like I said, I'm not taking any responsibility if you want to try and do this fix also. So make sure you mark your stuff however you want. So I'm going to put these wires back on and be right back. Okay, so like I said, this guy, which I actually had tightened down, this wire goes to this, and these 2 got connected. Right now this is still, I left this loose. I suggest, took this out first and did it all kind of with this still on. I think I had this half pulled out, but it's a lot easier if you take this plastic piece off first. So go ahead and tighten this down, and then we'll work on the next step. Okay, so before we put this tray on, I'll make sure to put this ribbon cable back. I'm going to tuck that right there. Or actually, sorry. Tuck it over here. So that goes in this gap. And then secure this. I dropped all my screws in there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that with 2 hands. Be right back. Okay, so after fishing the screws out, this is on there good. I'm going to go ahead and undo these. 7, and there's 4 down in here in the bottom. Okay, that's back together. Now we're going to go ahead and put this guy back on. Spun around the right way. And there's going to be a screw that goes in right here. And that's it all back together. So go ahead and get the basket and see how it goes. And now you can see it is paddling perfectly.